Most men spend their entire lives chasing women with the wrong tools. Compliments that fall flat, texts that go unanswered, conversations that lead nowhere. But the Stoic philosophers, men like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, discovered something over 2,000 years ago that modern dating coaches still haven't figured out. It's not what you say to a woman that matters most. It's who you are when you say it. Stay with me, because in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact phrases and communication, principles rooted in Stoic philosophy that will completely transform how women see, feel, and respond to you. Welcome back to Powerful Mindset, where we don't just talk about becoming better. We actually do the work. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because every single week we break down the mindset, philosophy, and psychology that separates ordinary men from extraordinary ones. Now, today's topic is something I've been getting flooded with requests about. You asked, how do I communicate in a way that actually attracts high-quality women? And the answer, surprisingly, doesn't come from a dating coach. It comes from a Roman emperor. Let's get into it. Here's a hard truth most men never confront. The reason your words don't create attraction isn't because you chose the wrong line. It's because your words and your inner state are completely disconnected. Think about it. You've probably heard a man say something incredibly simple, and maybe just, I've been thinking about that. And somehow, it stopped a room. It made people lean in. Then you've heard another man deliver the most perfectly crafted compliment, word for word, and it landed like a stone in still water. Nothing. What's the difference? Epictetus said it plainly. First, say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. In other words, identity precedes impact. When a man speaks from a grounded, purposeful, self-aware place, his words carry weight. When he speaks from anxiety, neediness, or performance, people feel that too. Women especially. So before we get to the phrases, and we will, I promise, you need to understand this foundation. Because without it, these phrases are just words. With it, they become magnetic. The Stoics identified 3 pillars of powerful communication. And interestingly, modern psychology has confirmed all 3. Pillar 1, speak less than necessary. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Silence in Stoicism is not weakness. It is discipline made visible. The man who pauses before speaking, who doesn't rush to fill every gap in conversation, signals confidence. He signals that he doesn't need her approval to feel comfortable. And that silence, that pause, it creates curiosity. Women lean into it. ND. Pillar 2, speak to her mind, not just her ego. Most men try to impress women. Stoics try to connect with them. There's a massive difference. Complimenting her appearance is forgettable. Acknowledging something real about who she is, that's unforgettable. And pillar 3, communicate without attachment to outcome. This is the Stoic superpower. When you speak to a woman without needing her to react a certain way, when you're genuinely indifferent to her approval, your energy completely shifts. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." The man who doesn't need validation is the most attractive man in the room. Every time. All right. Here are the exact phrases, grounded in Stoic philosophy and backed by communication. Psychology that will transform how women experience you. Phrase, the 1, I noticed something about you. B-roll, 2 people in calm conversation at a cafe. This is not a compliment. This is an observation, and there's a world of difference. Compliments say, I want you to like me. Observations say, I'm paying attention. I'm present, and I'm not afraid to name what I see. When you say, I noticed something about you, and then pause, you've created immediate curiosity. She hasn't to know what you noticed. Follow it with something genuine, not about her looks, about her energy, her laugh, the way she listens, her confidence, something real. Stoic root, attention without agenda, presence without performance. At phrase number 2, I'm still thinking about what you said. This is perhaps the most underrated phrase in human connection. Why? Because it tells her that she mattered after the conversation ended, that she occupied your mind not because you were chasing her, but because she said something worth thinking about. It rewards her depth, and it signals yours. Most men are forgotten the moment the conversation ends. This phrase keeps you present in her mind because it shows she was present in yours. Stoic root. Marcus Aurelius journaled constantly, not to process his own greatness, but to genuinely examine the world around him. Apply that same reflective attention to your conversations. Phrase number 3. I disagree, and here's why. Now this one might surprise you. But think about this. How many men actually, respectfully, confidently disagree with a woman they're attracted to? Almost none. Most men fold. They nod along. They become mirrors. And what happens? She stops respecting them. She gets bored. She feels like she's talking to a wall that just echoes her own thoughts back. When you respectfully hold your own perspective, when you say, I hear you, and I see it differently, you become rare. You become someone worth talking to. Stoic root. Epictetus taught that a Stoic never abandons his reason to gain approval. Your perspective is part of your character. Guard it. Phrase number 4. I know what I want, and I'm not in a rush. This phrase communicates more than words can carry. It says, I have direction, I have patience, I am not desperate. In a world of anxious, approval-seeking, reactive men, this is the equivalent of standing completely still in a storm. It's striking, it's compelling, it's deeply attractive. You can say this in many contexts, about your life goals, about where you see a relationship going, about your plans. The message is always the same. I am a man who knows himself. Stoic root. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. A grounded man is not rattled by uncertainty. He moves with intention. Phrase number 5. Tell me more about that. 5 words. The most powerful listening phrase in existence. Not, that's so interesting, which is performative. Not, I totally get that. Same thing happened to me, which redirects attention to yourself. Just, tell me more about that. It signals genuine interest. It creates space for her to go deeper. And people, all people, are profoundly drawn to whoever makes them feel truly heard. Stoic root. Zeno of Citium, founder of Stoicism, reportedly said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen twice as much as we speak. The Stoics were master listeners long before it was considered a skill. I want to stop here and say something important. If you've been watching this video thinking, I just want these phrases to work on her, I need to redirect you, because here's the irony at the heart of all Stoic philosophy. The moment you try to use these phrases as tools to get something, they stop working. Women are extraordinarily perceptive. They can feel the difference between a man who is genuinely grounded and a man who is performing groundedness, between a man who is truly present and a man who memorized lines. Marcus Aurelius didn't write the Meditations to impress anyone. He wrote them to hold himself accountable, to become better for himself. That's the real secret. When you pursue Stoic principles, discipline, self-awareness, clarity of purpose, emotional regulation, not to attract women, but to become the fullest version of yourself, you become naturally, effortlessly magnetic to everyone, including the right woman. So let me ask you something, and drop your answer in the comments. What is one area of your life right now where you know you're not living up to your own standards? Not for her. For you, be honest. The Stoics believed self-examination was the beginning of all transformation. Let's bring this home. You came here for phrases, and I gave you 5 real, grounded, tested communication tools, rooted in 2,000 years of Stoic wisdom. But what I really want you to walk away with is this. Words are the surface. Character is the foundation. A man who speaks less, observes deeply, holds his convictions, listens fully, and moves through the world with calm purpose. That man doesn't need tricks. He doesn't need lines. He is the line. Become him, not for anyone else. For the version of yourself that's waiting on the other side of discipline, self-knowledge, and intentional living. That's the Stoic way. And that's the powerful mindset way. If this video gave you something real today, if even one idea shifted something for you, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this message reach more men who need it. Subscribe. If you haven't already, we go deep on Stoicism, mindset and masculine development every single week. And share this with one man in your life who you think is ready to hear it. I'll see you in the next one. Stay grounded.